Hey, what's up, guys? Funhouse. It's your boy Liam,
Dave.
and we are with Chapter 19, A Crooked Team Up. So, this chapter starts off with Rudo, Zonka having a conversation. While Dreads is pinned down by Zonka's Jinky, and Rudo is a little bit surprised that Zonka's still alive. He comments how he looks kind of like shit because he does, because he got poisoned by Dreads 18,000 years ago, it feels like at this point. And Zonka's also surprised that Rudo can use Jinky properly and effectively, and kind of low-key disrespects the Hamsta by calling it a squid-looking thing. But I'm gonna let it slide for now.
It did look like a squid-looking thing. No. It looks like the thing from Mario Kart.
I have no idea what the hell that means because I don't be
Dude,
playing Mario
the
Kart.
inky thing that covers your screen. In
Oh,
black
no, that's true. That actually does look like that. And the entire time Rudo and Dreads are fighting, Zonka was analyzing it, and he understands what's going on. Like he doesn't need to be informed. He knows what is going on.
Yeah,
So
I like the idea. They cut to when he was like watching them. Never mind. I'll say after. But we'll go over it.
and obviously this entire time watching Rudo get his like ass beat and Dreads get his ass beat, Zonka formulated some sort of plan. He's gonna hit Rudo, and Rudo is like, "What, dude? What the fuck? Why would you hit me? This doesn't make any sense." But he's gonna use the Hamsa's ability to deflect in their favor. Since they can't deflect Dreads, it's gonna deflect Zonka, and his love stick has a much longer reach than Rudo's fist. So together they'll be able to defeat this bozo, aka Dreads. Rudo obviously a little bit worried that he's just gonna get the shit beat out of him, but you know, whatever. And now Dreads is up and he's ready to attack, and he immediately attacks, slicing the wall that they were sitting next to just into bits in the really cool graffiti design. Gets destroyed. Rest in peace, graffiti. Sorry.
That's all that happens to Ondo's art, isn't it? It all just gets destroyed.
It's just get destroyed. That's all it's there for, is to be murdered. And together they are being able to just beat the fuck out of Dreads using their newfound tactic of Zonka trying to beat the shit out of Rudo. And so Rudo's a little bit scared because Zonka just be hitting with all that hostility. It's really funny, and Zonka makes this weird ass looking face. Homie looks a little bit like E.T. And yeah, they're just working together and beating the fuck out of Dreads, and it's an awesome. You get some really cool fight scenes of just Zonka going ham, and I don't know how he's going ham.
Yeah, Rudo did the Rudo face.
The Rudo face, and it gets really good when you get this panel of Zonka coming over Rudo, about to beat the fuck out of him, and you get to see Zonka then turn around and go over Rudo, and it just looks sick. You get Rudo right below, Zonka above. Their two faces, they look, these dudes look evil, low key, but I love it. And Dreads is a little bit surprised. He could get another eye scene, which, you know, we love seeing. And he says, "Oh, if it isn't the bad guy," and then gets absolutely demolished by Zonka.
That's the finishing blow, bro. That's the finishing blow.
Dude,
I can't.
Demolished. Ain't no way you come back from that.
No.
Ain't no way.
I mean, there's a chance that like he actually didn't like bonk him on the head, but he actually just like dug, because you know how his stick is like shaped like a Y, so maybe he's
Yeah,
just,
it's like one of them,
holding
like-
his neck down. But like, I would like to
I've
believe
seen
he
it in
just
like kung
fucking-
fu movies. They
yeah.
used to like capture people.
Yeah, I would like to believe he actually just hit him in the back of the head, like as hard as possible.
Yeah, give this dude brain damage.
Yeah, but I like that he wakes up at the last possible second. That neurotoxin just like wore off, and then he's like, "Oh," and then he gets his head smashed in. That's so dope. Right. So
And again, the panel was awesome.
yeah, I mean, bro, do I even have
Brain
to say
bashed.
it? Do I even have to say it, bro? I don't have to say it. I don't have to. I'm not going to.
You can say it,
I'm
but
not
I don't
going
agree with
to.
you.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. You don't have to, because I'm not even gonna say it out loud. Anyway, I think that like, author may have forgotten, but like, didn't the amulet one of its like little tendrils get like chopped up last chapter.
Healed. I don't know.
Yeah, so maybe oh no, honestly I think it does show up. Anyway, we'll have to look at that another time.
We don't really see. It's hard to see. It's
Yeah.
always in the background, covered by stuff.
I was looking in the first panel, but I think I do see in the first panel, if you check it out, there's like actually one of its tendrils is like only half long. You see that? The center one?
Yeah. So
So
yeah,
maybe
probably
that's the one. Maybe
slower.
that's the one that blocked Reds. But anyway, right? Some really cool things about this chapter. I actually like that like Rudo and Zonka can talk without hating each other, because when they first met, low-key, they were actually very respectful and nice to each other. They were, until like Rudo started smiling at him, then that was when it all went downhill.
The line was crossed.
Exactly. And I also like the idea when they cut to when Zonka was watching them, how he's just sitting there holding himself up on his stick, just wheezing and like watching the fight and not doing anything. That's pretty funny.
Well, it looks like he's trying to move towards. He's like, wait, he doesn't want them to he doesn't want Rudo to finish the fight. He wants to get his licks in.
And he talks about what happens if you get hit by the by like his claws. He says like you don't want to get hit by those claws, and then they show
Even just a
even
scratch.
a little prick is enough to immobilize you for a while. But like, bruh, like, is that all that happened after like he appeared right behind Zonka and we had that epic panel?
And just poked
He
him,
just poked him and then he
and then dipped. And I think
That's pretty
I like
funny.
this chapter because it really shows how smart Zonka is. I mean, if you look at the panel of him like wheezing and going towards them, all he's looking at is giant explosions, and through this he analyzed the entire fight and understands how Dreads and Rudo both fight and how both of their gene keys work.
Yeah, no, I was actually kind of surprised, and low-key, I think it's kind of bullshit that he's able to understand how Rudo's, sorry, not Rudo's, Chris's amulet works.
Hey man,
I'm
He's a smart guy.
Never mind, it does make sense because he was watching the entire fight.
yeah,
So-
he was there the
okay.
entire time. He was
Yeah,
watching the whole thing.
Yeah, okay, so if he was watching the whole thing, then that makes perfect sense.
He heard Rudo say it.
Yeah, but he doesn't tell Rudo that though, because obviously.
he wants to seem smart.
Yeah. Another thing, Rudo can apparently use that Homsa to even a further degree, being able to change how far, like, the person
launches.
gets thrown. Pretty cool.
Yeah. It's just some cool stuff for fights and stuff.
Yeah, no, absolutely dope chapter. Really liked it. Not much said, and I'm interested to see what happens next. Another thing I want to go with, like, dude, the Homsa low-key, like, it kind of like creepy, like, and it kind of menacing. Like when
I agree. No, it's scary.
yeah, in like page 10 or 11, like when Zonka is going to hit him, and like it just like has the little effect, and where the Hamsa actually like Nazak, it looks at Zonka, and then it just stares at him while he's winding up the attack. Dude, that's so dope. I love that it actually like just stares at whoever's attacking him. And if you can even pay attention to the detail, right? Like in the pages after that, the Hamsa's always looking at Zonka.
Yeah.
When Rudo's doing the Rudo face, like the eye is just slightly to the left looking at Zonka. Oh man. Very well done.
I did notice that it's the attention to detail in these things is just incredible. There's so much going on. It always comes across good. Ronike, she's just like really good with that detail, and
Yeah.
it's awesome. And then the way, obviously, I always gotta shout out Ando. We did it before. The graffiti looks, even like
Yeah.
just the small things, like the pillar they were on was so pretty.
I'm gonna say this: these shonen have like this issue where sometimes wherever they're fighting can just end up turning into a series of rubble and rocky cubes,
Yeah.
and the graffiti kind of saves that from happening.
Like one thing that I would compare this whole area to, and the whole fight in the last couple chapters is you haven't read it yet, but in Jujutsu Kaisen there's a fight in a subway station, and there's some pretty good fights, but the subway station, besides the corpses of civilians, doesn't really feel lived in.
Exactly. This area that they're in is literally just like a grid floor that's all white with some pillars, but like because of the graffiti,
It feels like
doesn't
people
feel-
go through here.
yeah,
They've existed here.
Exactly. It doesn't feel that bad. And this is kind of an issue with like a lot of shonen, to be honest, where they just some of the fights turn into just like rubble, you know, rocky area to sort of, I guess, show how strong they are. But it ends up making the fight a little bit more boring. So thankfully, we have Ando here to save the day with some random
Detail.
Yeah, some random graffiti. But that's the chapter. Thank you all for tuning in. And that's us out. Y'all have a good one.
Peace.